If you have an exam in 2 weeks, 7 days, or 25 hours, then do this. Step 1. Gather past questions, but don't study it yet. There are 2 stages in this. First, you pick out the questions that appear most and mark them. Out of those questions that appear most, now you mark the topics that appear most. Only study those topics that appear most first. That's the most important one. Study the topics that appear most. Maybe there are 2 topics among all the topics that you have to study in a semester or a term. There are 2 topics that came out the most. Study those 2 topics and make sure you know everything about those 2 topics before you do any other thing. For step 2, if you have like 2 weeks to an exam and you're studying like that, or 7 days, you can now use some time to study other topics or other courses under that course. But if you have like 24 hours to an exam, like you're studying the night before exam or some days, just 2 days before an exam, you don't have that kind of time. You don't have the luxury of time. Instead, you just study past questions and make sure the year, like the last 2 years behind you, you know it very, very well. As in the questions, you know where the questions are coming from in your notes and all those stuff, because likely they like to repeat questions from there. Not just your past questions, you also revise your past tests. If you wrote any assessments or you have any assignments, revise them. More often than not, they usually bring back questions from that, maybe 2 or 3 questions, or even up to 5. Step 3. Now, if you're studying like 2 weeks before exams, you can do the Q&A method. I actually explain this more in detail in this other video. What this method helps you to do is to help you to memorize the things better, because with this method you get to focus on the important, like the things that you don't remember, so you only be studying the ones that you are forgetting or whatever. Just watch the video and you know what I'm talking about better. But if you have exam like in just a few hours or maybe some 2 or 3 days, just create mind maps. The visually stimulating ones, I mean, like you draw pictures to initiate your mind maps. What this helps you to do is you get a broad summary of the whole concept. This will help you in the sense that, number 1, the paragraph that is visual, meaning that it will help stick in your mind better. At least if you don't remember the words, you remember the pictures. Number 2, the linkages will help you understand where this one is coming from, where this one comes from, which will also help you to remember long term. And that thing is, mind maps just generally, they are just really cool to use. Like they are just an amazing study technique, and especially when you are trying to remember something fast, because as you are drawing the mind map, you are remembering. As you are looking at the mind map over again, you are recalling and all that. Then you now combine that with the method of Q&A, and if you don't get an A, na lie, you know, do and well. Step 4, do not, I repeat, I don't know how I can emphasize this enough, but do not pull an all-nighter the night before your exam. If you are somebody that wants to take risks, that's your business. You now sleep off and then you sleep and pass your exam. That one is concerning you, sha. But if you know you don't trust yourself, if you know that you don't trust yourself, in fact, just don't pull it. Just to be on the safer side, don't do it at all, because the reasons for this, like not doing it, is so endless. Apart from your brain not working well, you'll be tired. Apart from that, the chances of you sleeping off is even higher, because you just put an eye on a tire of sleeping. So what if you end up sleeping off and you sleep through your exam? That's like, just don't do it. Don't do it. Let your brain be like working strongly. But if you must pull an all-nighter, make sure you at least get like 2 hours of sleep. Sleep for 2 to 4 hours at least, so that you can have like refreshed brain. And after that, you take a stimulant like coffee to help you focus, because chances are your brain will not work at its optimum, so you need that outside stimulation. Step 5, be mindful of what you eat. Very, very important aspect. Avoid highly sugary things, because to give you sugar crash. Avoid high carbs, because it will feel sleepy quickly and all that stuff. You need your brain to be as active as possible. Eat more fruits and vegetables if you are the night before exam. When you are waking up in the morning, you can take maybe tea and bread with egg, high protein. The bread should not be bigger than the eggs. Let the eggs be bigger than the bread. I beg you in the name of Jesus Christ. Let me say two eggs and then maybe just 4 slices of bread. Don't take too much carbs. Step 6. Give yourself at least 2 hours of prep before the exam. Dress well, pack your IDs, drink enough water, eat food. Do everything that you need to do, because if you go to the exam hall and you have missing materials or you don't feel comfortable, maybe your dress is too tight, it will give you anxiety. But trying to minimize anxiety as low as possible because you're already stressed about the exam. So why be still stressed about what you are wearing, right? Now, go face your exams and be the academic warrior that you are.